And good evening. We are live at Lawless and we are V2A Wasteland Chronicles. Hello, everybody.
Evening.
Hello.
Afternoon, good morning, whichever time you watch this video.
Oh, my God. It's going to be one of those. So with us, we have the legendary Mick Ramsey. Let me get that right. In the middle. Excellent. So Mick is a compere host and a regular at Lawgiver, Lawless, and all things DSDC.
Afraid so.
And
like a bad smell.
Like a bad smell. And over on the far right, we have Dave West, other co-creator of the V2A Wasteland Chronicles. How's it going, Dave?
It's good, thank you. I've had my second COVID jab today, so I'm there.
Oh, you're there, yeah. Well,
So
do you know what
Gates is tuning in as we speak? Is what we're saying?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the superpowers. So I had the Pfizer one, so that's messed with my DNA, I think.
Bill Gates has you now.
It's got me on the phone anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
So just to start off then, guys, so what it is, you've probably seen me and Mick at a lot of the Lawless, Lawgiver shows. We are both massive 2000 AD fans. I'm normally hid behind the Mega City 1 Riot helmet, dishing out the trouble, and Mick is normally at the bar. Is that a fair one?
It's the safest place to be, I think. It really is.
So as well as being massive 2000 AD and Judge Dredd fans, we've also, my day job, I am a post-apocalyptic rock band. Oh, well, hey, Dave's even got his own.
Very nice touch.
And Dave over on the right-hand side runs the amazing Accent UK comic company in the UK, which is amazing. So we decided to come out and have a go and wrote our own graphic novel. So before we get into the interview, let's have a quick spiel and play the video of who's in it and what it's about. Hi everybody, I'm Drone.
And I'm Dave.
And we are the co-creators of the V2A Wasteland Chronicle Doomsday graphic novel. The first in a series of post-apocalyptic comics coming to you.
Glad you said that.
Very good, Dave. My day job, I'm the lead singer of the post-apocalyptic band V2A. So you may have seen us in some of the post-apocalyptic festivals or some of the festivals around Europe and the US.
I'm the co-founder of an independent comic company called Accent UK.
Best people in the comic industry to work on this comic. Friends and also people we really admire and absolutely love their work. So first of all, we've got the legendary PJ Holden from 2000 AD, Vlad, and Vlad is actually the V2A artist.
We've got Matt Soft doing the colouring, 2000 AD and I think Heavy Metal.
Ryan Brown, who is the cover artist for Marvel, DC, 2000 AD. Ryan's art is just absolutely breathtaking.
Gustavo Vargas, who's a Peruvian artist.
guys, we really do need your support to help make this comic a reality. So please check out the epic rewards over on the right hand side, which include everything from limited edition, signed, very, very exclusive and uber collectible. There's even a reward where you can actually get your post-apocalyptic character in the book and in the comic books. And we are back.
Very good. Very good indeed.
Just one quick one on that, guys. Kickstarter has finished. It was super successful. We were over 800% backed, and that has now gone. So it is at the printers. So over to you, Mick, as the compare for tonight's interview.
I mean, just to touch on what you just mentioned there, the Kickstarter being closed. Just the amount of time it was actually met its target. So it was 4 hours, was it?
It was 4 hours.
How did you feel about that?
Literally, I got, well, for me, I got a phone call from Stig, who's one of the V2A cronies, one of our helpers, guys, and he actually woke me up at about 8 o'clock in the morning and said, "We've hit the target." I was still flat out and completely asleep.
It's really good. So we kind of you can see in the first few days you get really active, so that you can see the graph. They show Kickstarter. You can see all sorts of visuals of graphs and things, and you get a message. Each backer comes through. You get a message like there's constantly beep 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 on your phone, and then you look at the graph, and it's tremendous. Because once you hit your target, you can relax because you know you've.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose from being a publisher's point of view, it's anything like this can be a bit of a risk financially. And this isn't your first Kickstarter, is it, Dave?
No, I've done I think 10 now in total.
Right. Okay. You've been around the block then. So
So it's kind of because Graham was very hyped up because it's his first one, so he's all yeah, and I'm like it'll happen. Just relax. So it's like
I think once the coffers start coming in, you relax a bit, don't you?
Yeah, but you get people drop off as well. So Brad said it's like John said, "Oh, we've lost a few. What's going on? What's going on?" I said, "It happens. You know, you have to. It's a long game."
I mean, you had some amazing rewards, didn't you? There was just I think was the one was £800 or something, was it?
That went straight away, and we've got a few of these guys. So it really helps as well because it's not just a comic. It's sort of based on V2A and the Wasteland and all our mad post-apocalyptic world. So we've got like 20,000 odd fans on Facebook, and we headline big festivals over in Europe, in UK, and also the Wasteland Weekend festivals over in LA, the biggest Mad Max festivals in the world. So because we headline all that, we've got a big fan base.
Yeah, I mean, for people who aren't aware of what Wasteland is, can you just describe it very briefly?
It's lunacy, complete lunacy. So what it is, it's run by some Mad Max fans, and it's North LA. It's the biggest Mad Max festival in the world. They get around 20,000 odd people there a year. It's so big now they own their own part of the desert. It's all themed for 5 days. You go there, there's a Thunderdome. We hang out with the War Boys. It's crazy. It's just lunacy. It is absolutely lunacy. And there's no shops there, so you can't buy anything. So everybody swaps or just hands stuff out. It's awesome. It's like no other festival.
Glastonbury without any stalls to me, but
yeah, exactly. But there's cars, trucks, flamethrowers, and about 20,000 nutters.
Scorpions, spiders,
tarantulas.
Have you been to it, Dave? Or?
No.
We're trying to entice Dave over. So we're also headlining the Mad Max 2 40-year anniversary over in Australia next year.
Oh, fantastic!
So super excited about that, and also we might be
Mad Max films, to be honest. The second one,
amazing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fantastic. So obviously you've got Dave to my right as I'm sitting here looking at it.
Yes.
Dave's obviously been around for quite a while in the comic industry. I mean, did you pick up, was it an Eagle Award in 2010? Was it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. So Accent UK has been going for about 20 years now.
Okay.
It's one of these things that's kind of a hobby. So I kind of work in IT as Drone does. So there's no creativity in IT. It's very kind of rigid. You do the work or they don't. There's logic to it. So kind of comics was a kind of creative outlet, really. So
Right.
it started off as just a little hobby, just me doing the little. Actually, I sold them through a guy called Shane Chebs, who's
I know Shane. Yeah.
So he used to take comics around because there weren't that many cons in those days. About 3 in London, 3 in England, I think. So he used to take around the marts and sell them for us. We used to give them the next issue, and then I kind of collaborated with a friend we just happened to be in Manchester together, and we said, let's create a little collective or company, and we can share table costs and rent hotel rooms, get twin hotel rooms, reduce the cost of everything.
Yeah.
Just to get our comics out. So that's where Accent UK came from. And we started with loads of anthologies where we get lots of people contributing to a theme, different artists and writers. We don't pay them because there's no money in it. And they'd be nicely published. We give them a load of copies for their portfolio and we sell them, at cons. But it's just grown from there, really. So, yeah, I love it. I love the hobby. I love the.
And how do you feel getting the Eagle Award? I bet that must have been an absolute thrill.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing. Yeah, it's kind of because people sometimes call independent comics vanity press. It's kind of like, and some of it isn't great. I'll be honest. Some of it is astoundingly good. But there's no kind of you police it yourself. So I have my daughter edits my stuff, and she's as harsh as you can imagine. But typically you just do stuff and send it out there, and it's just. So to win that was kind of my peers and certain people in the industry voting.
We've arrived, sort of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just it was really
fantastic.
Nice. Yeah.
Great. So obviously, independent comic publisher, mad V2A frontman. How did you guys get together? No, over to head, I can see Kevin, as I know Kevin. Sorry, Drone. I know him better.
Yeah.
Kevin to me is like an excited puppy all the time. He's always excited about everything. He really is. So I can imagine him bounding up to you at some events and just going,
"Well,
here I am."
It's funny, really. So
you're close. You're close.
Very close. Yeah, we're doing the first. So there's Asylum, the comic, a convention called the Asylum Steampunk Convention in Lincoln every year.
Lots of cogs on hats. So you're telling me.
Yeah, cogs on hats.
Yeah. So we did it. So one year we thought, why don't we just do a comic, an anthology comic about the people? They dress up, they have their own personalities, their own personas. So I'm Lord on whatever, and they have a real story. So we thought, why don't we do a comic about those characters and their stories? So I spoke to a few people, and we started doing this thing, and I got an email from this guy called Kevin, said, we must be in the comic. I'm like, so who are you? We're V2A, we must be in the comic. I was like, V2A. Yeah. Oh my God.
Dear.
I said, well, it's a bit too late because people don't realise how long it takes to do a comic. And so I think, Drone, it's probably a few months, maybe 4 months before the Asylum, but it was all done then. It's all printed and everything. Okay. Because it has to be. It takes ages to get the writers, the stories, the art done, and the editing, and it just takes a long time. So I said, I'm sorry, you can't be in it, but you can be in issue 2. And he's like, okay, we got to be in issue 2, right, fine. And then I contacted Drone when issue 2 was which was not long after the Asylum, to be fair, to start building the next issue. I said, yeah, just, and it was very hard because you're too busy touring and stuff to get your time. So I ended up writing the story based on what I thought the characters were, based on one of their songs loosely, connected to one of their songs, Toxic, and then we kind of collaborated more on Drone, and then got time. And he said, yeah, that's good, but that's not that, and I want him to be a bit more this, and so we kind of collaborated to a degree on the first one, but loosely. And then when the pandemic hit, of course, Drone couldn't go out.
For a year.
Therefore, the way we're kind of working is not like anything I've ever done before. But Drone kind of blasts. You're right. It's just like so exciting. He just blasts all these ideas at me. This is a character. This is that. And I go, right, okay. And I've got this thing which is a loose kind of script, more scenarios and things, and just madness. And then I kind of then try and bring out the characters a bit and weave a story through it. I send it back to Drone. He goes, no, that's not what I meant. I meant this, that, and it'll do, and it goes back and forth a few times. And I think it's not something I'd ever come up with, and the kind of craziness is something that's not natural to me. So I'm quite boring. So I think it's a great thing. It stretches me in a way that I wouldn't have gone.
I think it works as well because Dave calms me down.
I'll try
because I've got all these stories flying around in my head, and I sort of put like a brief overview of what the hell's going on, and then try and decode it to Dave, And then we play table tennis. But I think it works really well because it's something completely different. It's quite edgy and really fresh, like when 2000 AD just started off, because we're not trying to be anybody else. We're not trying to copy somebody. We're our own thing, like the band. It's our own universe, our own characters. Dave, the stories have been ace so far, haven't they? We've got the first 5 books already mapped out, so it's very detailed. Books? 5.
Yeah,
but
these 2 issues.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But it's all planned out in fine detail of the characters, background stories, where they're going.
Yeah, and you kind of have to do that.
Sorry, carry on, Dave.
Yeah, no. So you kind of have to have the longer vision because you want to seed things into the earlier issues that kind of feed into it. So it's not just episodic. You've got these threads that kind of you go, I remember that, and you go back and go, that's that guy, you know. Kind of things like that.
It's all interweaved, yeah.
See.
It is super exciting.
It's all interweaved.
but also it's super edgy, and it's like 2000 AD. It's amazing. We got some amazing artists, and it's gritty. It's got some dark humor in there as well, and you can't really see what's coming next. It's a great story.
The artists alone, obviously, you've got the legendary PJ Holden, which was, when I saw PJ's name was attached to it, I was, little squeak came out. Like, it's gonna be amazing.
As well. That came about.
In the UK, I mean, you got Matt Soft, so he's your go-to colorist, is it?
Yeah,
he is.
We're discussing artists, and I've got a few artists that I use for things. And in discussion with Kev, it was kind of he said, "Well, I want someone like PJ Holden," and I said, "Well, why don't we ask PJ Holden?" and that was how
Did you have his number just handy? Just so you know.
Well, we've contact through Twitter, the power of the social media. So because I'm connected.
It's amazing the people you could stalk. It's frightening.
I've spoken to him I've spoken to him at the Northern Ireland MCM back in the day. So
got you.
He was aware of me.
Fantastic. And obviously, you got PJ, Matt as well.
Yeah.
Brian Brown's doing an alternate cover, which
I can show them on the screen. Hold on. This is hold on.
Look at this. See.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
I mean, absolutely stunning. So is that digital, or did you do an acrylic one, or?
That one's digital.
Okay.
But that we are getting some acrylic ones for the next. Also, just to keep it really exciting, because as I said, we're not your normal comic company. There is only 999 copies of this and the Vlad version for issue 1.
Okay.
About half of them went already on Kickstarter. So get a copy while you can, because these things are going to be super collectible.
Brilliant. And have you got Vlad's art for it as well? Then?
Hold on. I will show you
that one as well.
This is Vlad. So Vlad does all our T-shirts, which were printed by this awesome guy. We have amazing Doomsday T-shirts, which are the best ones we've ever had. He does all our artwork, and we had all our photos done by this mad German guy. But also, which is a bit different, the comic has celebrities in it as well.
Okay. Do you want to go through your amazing list of celebrities then? Because last time I met you, we had a little sit down at a bar by a river, and it was amazing. And you were just blasting me with celebrity names. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. So give us the full list.
Okay. Do you want to go first then, Dave?
Oh, you do. I don't know after, guys.
Oh, okay. So first of all, for any Mad Max 2 fans, Emil Minty, who's the feral kid, the little kid with the boomerang, he's in our graphic novels going forward as his own character, Boss Man, so you can actually see what happens when he grows up, which is awesome. That's going to be amazing. We've got the legendary Mark Sexton, who is a 2000 AD artist and also is the storyboard artist for Mad Max Fury Road, the new Thor, and dare I say Furiosa. Ooh.
Mad Maxine, as she's known.
Yes, totally. So we've got him. We've got Dana Grant, who is she was the lead stunt lady in Mad Max Fury Road. She was a stunt double for Furiosa and was in the latest Wonder Woman film. So she's really cool. We got Greg, who is Greg was the the main gun stunt guy in Fury Road, and he was the director of one of the bits to do with Fury Road, and he also did Happy Feet, and he's done other stuff. So he's one of George Miller's right-hand men. So he's in it.
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet. We've also got who else have we got? We've got Jared. We've got awesome Jared guy, Jared Butler, who owns Wasteland Weekend. So we have the backing of him. His brother, by the way, won an Oscar for 1917. His brother did the special effects. He's a special effects guru. So he's on the team. And we've also got, we thought we need some sort of 2000 AD involvement on here.
Some sort of royalty.
Some sort of royalty. Yeah. And we got this vision of some sort of like post-apocalyptic night kind of thing. So who else, who's not been in his own comic, who owns Rebellion, and who's in ours? Yes, it's Jason Kingsley.
Sir Jason Kingsley.
Sir Jason Kingsley, OBE.
You have to stand up and salute for that one. Or not?
It is amazing. So if you see this is the front cover. If I just shoot down to the back cover, we've got some. Look at the comic you just missed.
Oh.
So on normal comics, where you get like as read by the Guardian or whatever, we've just got crazy ones on the back of ours. This sums up. So Paul Kundalini, he's actually in it. He was in Mad Max 1. He's the guy who has his hand ripped off.
Oh, okay.
So Paul wants his hand back, and that's a bit of an ongoing joke. Makes Mad Max Fury Road look like a positively tame in comparison. That's Mark Sexton, the legendary Mark Sexton. Jason Kingsley, OBE, Sir, as we like to call him. Really excited to see what the team have put together. He is awesome, and he's very excited about everything. And then we've got Greg Borsam on there, who's prepare for contortion of your mind as your eyes are seared to the page like roadkill in a blazing post-apocalyptic sun. A must read. This sums up our comic. It is. I
think the final comment on the back is the one for me. I've got to say.
Oh, the one. Buy or die by mechanized.
I can actually hear mechanized voice in my head.
In a German voice. Buy or die.
Definitely.
As you can tell, we're not doing things like anybody else. We've got our own top trumps. What other graphic novels got their own top trump characters?
I happen to have a set of those, which was...
You did. These are super collectible as well. They are only available...
About it was was just go for all the artwork and have it sort of like a sneak peek.
A sneak peek.
So I was like, yes, I'm good to see all this.
Yeah. So again, this was just for certain people on the Kickstarter. These will be available from the shops and from Accent UK and V2A.
Apocalyptic top trumps. Amazing.
Awesome.
Ideal Christmas gift for all the family.
It is, definitely.
So obviously you mentioned you've got like 5 stories in total?
Yeah, so far.
So and as Dave sort of hinted on, you've been sort of bandying backwards and forwards for quite a while now. Do you feel with lockdown it's give you the creative window to do this, or is it a case of lockdown has just gone, right, I've got so much shit going on in my head, I need to get it down on paper? So what's your feeling about?
For me personally, before we go over to Dave, as Dave said, normally if there wasn't a lockdown, we'd be doing 17 festivals a year, 18 festivals, traveling to Europe, traveling to America, and literally you fly out, get somewhere, eat, play the festival, fly back, sleep, get ready for the next one next week and stuff. So it just destroys, it's hard to write music or just do anything. Whereas being stuck in the house and not being able to go out for a whole year, we've wrote 2 albums and about 5 graphic novel stories. And we've got 2 other big things coming up, which we can't announce yet, but they're really big.
Not even a hint? Come on. An exclusive for the viewers.
We can't really say. But they're two really big things.
All right.
And it all fits together. It's all one world, so all the characters and everything interweaves.
And so the same sort of question to you then, Dave. So how's lockdown? Does it sort of give you a better window to get this stuff organised, or has it been a pain in the backside?
Yeah, it kind of has a bit like January. So one that during the convention season, so Comic Cons, we do. I think we did about 18 one year. We do. No, there's a lot of them. And in the peak of it, you're kind of getting over one. You may take a day off either side to get there and back again, and then you're doing again next weekend. So and also with the convention circuit, you tend to try and get a comic aimed at a convention. So you feel like you need to keep producing these comics. So what we've been able to do with this is tell bigger stories, do a bigger comic that doesn't have to be aimed at a certain convention.
Yeah.
That kind of.
I suppose you're always trying to hit a deadline to get it out of the convention, aren't you?
Yeah, because if you miss it, you kind of. So we try and have one of the comics called Kia Wordsmith. We try and have one of those every year. So if I go to the convention next year, you get the new issue. There's something for you that you haven't got. Other things, they're too big. So I've ended up putting out comics rather than doing a collection and selling them in a trade, because a trade would take 3 or 4 years to do, and people just don't see anything for 3 or 4 years. So this has meant that I've had the time to kind of rewrite some of this stuff and produce it into a graphic novel and get the artist extra pages and things. This is other comics I'm doing. But with V2A, it's actually having some time with Drone to actually focus on this thing. It's not off to Germany or off to America or wherever,
But I think we've done really well now. So the first book's done and at the printers. The second one is with PJ, with the artist, and the third one we got some other exciting artists on board.
Yeah. The third one. So what the beat we're trying to get into is a 2-part story, and an issue where we explore. There's little short stories in it where we explore a lot of the other characters.
Okay, cool.
Build that kind of universe of characters, and then the next 2 issues will be another story, and then we'll do another collection of stories just to build things out, and also continue some of the stories of other characters you might have seen in the early one. So we're trying to, but that way we can have one main artist, so PJ, doing 2 big stories, but whilst they're doing those, we can get other artists doing these shorter stories, so we don't, it buys us a bit of time.
There's a bit of world building going on then.
Yeah, absolutely.
Super world building.
Sounds amazing.
That's fun of it.
So, Kevin, where did the ideas come from?
In my head.
Yeah, I mean, so it's being sort of plugged, I suppose. It's, described as Mad Max meets the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Now, what sort of mind comes up with that?
well, one of the things we do, if you've ever seen the band V2A live, we headline a lot of post-apocalyptic festivals. Yeah, so unlike steampunk ones where people walk around with a top hat, these are fully immersive.
Don't forget the cog.
With a cog. These are fully immersive sort of Mad Max post-apocalyptic festivals where people have got their own characters and all this kind of, and their own identities. So there's a lot of things flying around in your head, and especially when you're writing music. I always think visually about like a story and then write the music to it. If that makes any sense.
Okay.
Sort of when I write music, I think visually and then sort of go off and make a song about whatever I'm thinking about. So I've always had that kind of creativeness, but never had somebody as good or to work with like with Dave to actually help funnel it into
listen to your mad ramblings. Is that what you're saying?
It is. So even on a comic. So let me see if I can just show you another quick sneak peek of just something. So there is a map inside the book, and this is quite important, but some of these places actually exist. So Haven Outpost is our own post-apocalyptic festival, which we're running in the UK. Junktown is a massive festival over in Czech Republic. So you can go there and actually meet some of the characters out of the book, and you actually physically meet them.
Yeah.
Again, there's Uranium Springs is another one. We got Wasteland and all the rest. I can't let too much on, so let's go back onto this.
Whereabouts is Hobbiton on that map? It looks
yeah, where's Bilston? But so it's very immersive, and as we're playing festivals and writing music, I'm baking up stories constantly in my head. And this is why it's not like, as Dave said, it's not just a one story, it's world building. So it's like it's like 2000 AD with all these mad diverse characters, but all chucked in one world, and they can interact with each other.
So you know about these
how cool is that?
Festivals like Junktown, etc.
Yeah.
So these guys that go for the whole weekend, is it sort of like a role play thing?
Sort of, but it's more about drinking and partying. Yeah, the DSDC would love that. So it's not LARP or anything like that. But
I'm just trying to see how far they carry it across. If
Oh,
you know what I mean.
they carry it completely.
Yeah.
So for example, if you go to Wasteland Weekend, some of our Warboy buggies are 80 grand for a buggy, and then we've got like 6 of them in the one tribe. You can go and have a go in a real Thunderdome. You can then walk into a casino or bar, and it's all just bottle tops. So it's like, you know, with Fallout. So you buy drinks or you just swap stuff for bottle tops.
That's it. And have you taken any of these? So it sounds like you've taken characters or people that you know as characters.
Some of them are actually in it, and they're fully behind it. So we've, as well as the band and the cult of V2A, which is our crazy fan club, and all that lot. Some of the characters from some of these different places are actually people you can meet at these festivals, who are, you know, you can go and have a chat with some of the characters out of the comic. It's totally different. It's world building, and some of the options we gave on the Kickstarter is you could get your character put into the storylines, actually exist in that world. That's
amazing. Like, as I say, there were some amazing stretch goals on it. Sorry, packages. Sorry, just stretch goals. Just amazing. And the stretch goals as well. I've been watching them come through because obviously I personally have backed it. I think I was number 40. He said.
Oh, excellent.
So it's great to see the stuff that you've got from stretch goals. You know, it's how do you come up with these ideas? Because obviously you want to push the comic as much as you can, but you want to sort of get people to keep contributing and just engage with it. To be honest. So is this something that the pair of you went like, what can we do now for the next one, or?
Kind of, yeah. So the art cards work really well. So the other Kickstarters I've done,
they look beautiful.
They're kind of interesting. It's nice to see other artists' versions of your characters. You know, so it's kind of so it does work really well. The other, you know, the one that we came up on this one, which is new for us, was the colouring competition one. So one that goes on. We'll give a nice prize. You know, it's but that's new, and I've used that in the next keywords.
How is that going to work then? People have to send you photos in it, or?
Well, it can be digital. Yeah. It can be coloured in and things. They can bring it to us at cons, but work that out.
And is there a prize?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is the prize? Have you decided what it was yet, or?
I don't think we have yet, but it'll be something amazing. I think there is.
Yeah, we did talk about them being one of the central characters in one of the issues, didn't we? So,
I think they're definitely.
We'll do something special. Depends who the person is and how comfortable they are with things, which is why we can't assume they want to be in a comic.
An individual PJ Brown, PJ Holden. Sorry, I got me Ryan Browns and me Holdens.
But also because we're doing it from a sort of a fan point of view, not from like a money making thing. That's the last thing on our mind. It's purely about making awesome stuff.
Yeah.
So we are creating something completely different, and there's like a doll in it which has a special key thing, and we've actually had those built.
Yeah.
We've got.
Yeah.
Tim Burton would be proud of that.
Tim Burton. We've got loads of crazy stuff. We've got there's things called locusts, and we are building all this crazy stuff, and it's from what we've actually got lined up in the future is even more out there, but it's awesome. So if you're really interested in something fresh and different, that will actually be really exciting. You can't wait for the next copy to see what's coming on, and then also come down to one of the festivals and meet half the characters.
Yeah, that'd be good, definitely.
You know, so it's like DSDC, it's like the Judge Dredd drinking club. But you dress up as Mad Max.
Come down and meet some characters. Is that what
come down, be your own character, get drunk and have fun.
There you go. So you say so where are we now with it now? Is it actually at the printers, is it? Or?
So it's at the printers. So yeah, he's asked a question about the spine. So I know it's being printed. So I think it's imminent next week. I'm expecting. I'm going to email him this weekend to make sure he knows which address to send them to. So I've got a storage lock. I can't have them sent to my flat because it'll just 2 flights of stairs with 2,000 comics will kill them. And then Drone's going to come down and we're going to do the signings and numbering of issues, etc. And then it'll take half away and I'll keep half. So Drone's going to manage all the merchandise kind of packs, and I'll send out the comic packs. There's a lot. My post office man loves me because he gets a commission on the put through. So
you don't want to still behind you in the queue. Is that what you're trying to say?
No. I try and just do a number at a time and circle around because it does. I can't just go like 7 boxes and go there you go. No. You know?
Yeah. The most hated man in the town.
But also we've got things like we've got medals, which are unique, so you can actually add them to your armor. There's awesome T-shirts created by somebody quite close by, which is really good, or printed by somebody very close by. Awesome. We've got some amazing stuff coming up, and we've got so many really good ideas about different and new things for the next book.
Yeah.
There's some massive stuff coming up, and also we've got some interest from big parties watching what we're up to.
Cool.
That's all I can say. But it's exciting times. We have a lot of people watching.
Tonight. You can't tell us this. You can't tell us that.
We struggle to keep it quiet. But yeah, and so about Kickstarter, I just say all these little extras and things. If you miss them on Kickstarter, you tend to be lucky to find them elsewhere. So some of these things, if they go in Kickstarter, we print a few more extra, just as much to go in case things get lost in the post as anything else. But when they've gone, they've gone. Okay. You know, it's that kind of thing.
So for anybody who missed the Kickstarter, how do they go about getting hold of a copy?
Well, what we're going to do, so the Kickstarter lot is, as Dave said, is off to the printers. As soon as it comes back, we're probably going to spend next weekend posting them all out and writing on them and numbering them and all that fun. Once they've all gone out, probably about a month after that, we're going to do a 1 month only on Indiegogo because we have quite a lot of fans on there. Okay. So we're going to run something very similar. So you have 30 days, if you did miss it, to grab a copy or grab one of the tiers.
Yeah.
There are only, as Dave said, 999 of the 2 different variations, and we've already sold half. So so get on Indiegogo if you want it. Straight after that, it'll be available in the V2A web shop and also the Accent UK new web shop, which is awesome. And then we might sell some at festivals. There may be some going to. We won't even make it to comic shops for this version because it will all go. We can play a festival and we can sell sort of 500 odd at a festival at a V2A gig. So if you really are passionate about comics, look out. We've got a Facebook page called V2A Wasteland Chronicles on Facebook. So there's a Facebook group. So get on there and you'll get the latest info on what's going on. But as I said, with Ryan Brown and all this lot, only 999 copies ever.
Yeah.
And over 50% is already gone. So guys, if you get a chance, get one. This thing's gonna.
I mean, I've got to say, as you know, I'm a big fan of Ryan Brown. I've got quite a bit of his stuff, and I've started buying his alternate covers, and they are getting very difficult to get hold of now.
Yeah.
So as he gets larger, obviously because he's Marvel and DC, mainly Marvel, as his stuff comes out now, it just seems to sell out quick sharp, especially the alternate covers. So if it's only, 999. That's.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the last Brian Brown cover I bought was about 2,500 limited. So your one's even
half of that.
Scarcer.
Yeah, and it's not a DC or anything like that. So this is purely. But the trouble is
the Eagle Award-winning Accent UK production.
Well, and also because this hasn't been really pushed out yet, we've got thousands of Mad Max fans out there, and they all want it for Emil Minty, the Feral Kid.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get any UK-based comic fans, guys. Get yourself a copy quick, because it's going to be one of them things. Yeah, because you're going to see this on eBay in 6 months' time. And go, bloody hell! Wish I'd have bought that one.
As I say, I'm a big Ryan Brown fan, and I saw his stuff on eBay, rare covers. His Spider-Man stuff. I think it was his Joker one that sold out instantaneously, and now you see it on eBay for stupid money.
Yeah.
But, I just happened to buy 3, but it wasn't me. I'm not want to read it to store.
Exactly.
There's great ones behind just in case.
If you need one, drop me a line. So going forward, then, so you're at the printers, possibly be on your doorstep next week, Dave.
Yeah.
How's it looking for episode 2 or volume 2?
So volume 2. So I think PJ's going to start the artwork in July. So it's had the script. So we need to reach out first to these. So once we get a bit closer, we'll reach out to the people that backs those to be in the comic for their characters, so photos, photo reference, and a little bit about who they are. If they've got a particular character trait or something, and then we know where we're going to insert these characters, but we just need to get their their pictures effectively. And then we'll send that reference to PJ, so it makes sure that, you know, we've suggested on the pages and the scripts where to put things, and we just say, put, you know, these are the people to put in those places. And then it's once PJ draws it, we tend to do batches of sort of 10, and we send those to the colorist. So Matt's off will be colouring them sort of just behind PJ's art. And so yeah, so we're looking to do a Kickstarter at the same kind of time, sort of over Christmas time, that kind of.
Yeah, sort of about early December.
Yeah, December through to January, was it? So we're aiming for that. So everything seems to be on track.
Just shows you how long the process is, as you mentioned earlier on. You know, it's just...
yeah, it's not quick. I mean, if you want it to be good, which we do, you know, quality, pay for proper printers. We don't. You can pay cheaply at the printers to get less of a quality product.
Yeah.
But we just want everything to be as good as Marvel would do, or DC.
I mean, it's something you want to be proud of as well, as you know.
Yeah, absolutely. You all that work goes into it. If you print it and it's not as good as it could be, you're thinking,
yeah,
short here. So
I remember picking up comics back in the 70s and 80s, and the paperwork
toilet roll stuff. Yeah.
Absolute abysmal, you know, especially the Marvel UK stuff back in the 70s.
Yeah,
definitely lasted. Really,
it's just the same, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So you know, so we do. So it does take a long time. We do get it edited. And so my daughter's done a degree in English literature, so I'm putting her to use. So she edits, and she's quite.
She keeps scowling at you, Dad. There should be a comma there.
Well, yeah, it is. Yeah, but it's also, wait a minute, the guy does that. How can you do that if he did that? You're thinking,
okay.
So she is very good.
If in the house editor, you know,
a bit harsh and blunt.
but also because we're
lots of scowls across the dinner table.
But I think because we're aiming to create something really fresh, really original, and the best quality ever, you know, that we possibly can. So, you know, with PJ Holden, Ryan Brown, because this has gone, you know, we didn't know if we were going to sell £50 worth or whatever, but we did 800%. And the next one, we've already got a ton of people already excited about the next one, so that's going to be even bigger. So then it gives us the room to then go around and say, I really love, you know, Bisley's art. Let's get him doing a cover, or whatever. We've got that power and the backing now to go. Let's do just cool stuff.
I Glenn Fabry cover now. Now you've mentioned it.
Well, everybody's on the cards. Everybody's on the cards.
And that's the great thing about, you know, I mean, I've known Drone for a while, and we go to cons, and we've gone to cons together in the past, and we've met people like Ryan Brown when he was first sort of on the scene. And, you know, and Ryan's always been great company. He used to come out for a drink and stuff like that. So I think the great thing about this, it's all people that you sort of met and hung out with.
Yeah, definitely.
And just gone, yeah, we'll happily help you out, sort of thing. Yeah. And that for me is really exciting, because it's just like, it just shows you the power of geekdom to a certain extent. You know, it's just like, you know.
Definitely. And we're getting to the point now where we're getting 2000 AD artists asking us if they can assist.
Can you mention any names?
No, we can't, but it's very exciting. But so that's good. So as well as us talking to as you said, all the artists we know and we really love, we're actually getting people saying, "Man, love the stuff you're doing. I'd like to."
Yeah. So basically everything we make from it's been invested back into it. So we can do top trumps cards. We can get Bill Sinkovic's cover. Please.
Oh, now you're talking.
We've got. You should see our master plan. We have a master plan.
V2A world domination.
It is. It is.
Yeah. But it's good. It get bigger and bigger. Yeah. So the more people support it, the bigger it can get. You know, that's the way it will be.
And as Dave said, all the money that we make are just being ploughed straight back in, just so we could do bigger and more awesome stuff. Yeah. So if you are a fan of like Bills or anything like that, and you think, bloody hell, wouldn't that be the comic's awesome? We've got Ryan Brown, got a Bisley one. This is awesome. And then suddenly there's a Bill one. This is how our mind works. We are as bigger geeks as the people read the comics.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So we want to do the most awesome things ever. If we've got the opportunity, we're going for it.
It's a big comic toy box, exactly what
it is. It is. You get one life, and we're living it.
Yeah. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So how are we doing for time?
I think we've got about 5 minutes left.
5 more minutes. Okay. Right. So with regards to the Kickstarters, so how do you feel that's developed over the last few years, then, Dave?
So when I first heard about Kickstarters, I thought it was a bit of a con, if I'm honest. I thought, well, if you're going to print a comic, you should put your money where your mouth is.
Okay.
print the comic and invest in it yourself. But it's a different thing. I got it completely wrong. It's kind of because you're building a community of people that back your work. So we've noticed over the 10 I've done, we're kind of picking up people that start to back everything because they clicked onto, and it could be like a Western horror, which is the Western noir we do, Kid Work, which is a fancy thing, and V2A, which is opposed to completely different genres, different topic, but completely different. But they back it because they like the quality, they like reading what we've written and stuff. They just support what we do, and that's the bit I missed. It's that kind of collective community thing. So people want to see you and help you produce more stuff, which is really, really nice. You know, going through comic shops, it's very fire and forget, as we call it in IT. You send it out. I don't know what happens to it. It's going to be sat on the shelf. Someone could have bought it, reading, loving it at home. That's it. You never see it. Whereas at cons and Kickstarters, they're almost like a con. But you do start getting a report. They send you messages, you reply back. You build that kind of relationship, I guess, with people. I think it's great, Kickstarter. It certainly helps independent publishers. So the old kind of diamond company that shipped to all the comic shops are quite hard to do historically because we're very small. And why would a comic shop invest in something they've never heard of by someone they've never heard of? That it's just they're going to buy all the X-Men titles they can't afford to. Whereas Kickstarter kind of bypasses all that and goes straight to the guy sat in his living room wanting something to read.
And I think especially from our side as well. So because you imagine with V2A, we got like 20,000 fans around the world, and we play big festivals and headline big festivals. So this is a new thing for some of these guys. Some of these guys have never read comics or not really into comics, but they like V2A, and suddenly, gosh, I can have my own character, and it'll be in that world, and it'll be on the Wikipedia page, and I can exist in this whole thing with like the feral kid from Mad Max 2. Even Jason Kingsley's so excited. Because he's a massive Mad Max fan, but it's like once in a lifetime chance to get involved with something really out there, totally different to everybody else, and be part of it. And you go, hey kids, this comic's awesome. By the way, go to page 7. That's me there with the axe and the flamethrower, and it's like, but it's not done tackily. It's all interwoven, and everybody's got like some of the characters we've got. Some of the guys who've backed us, their characters, even just meeting the guy, you think, bloody hell, you look like you've just come off a film set. They're amazing.
Yeah, the £800 backer looks really impressive, doesn't he?
He's awesome. They're fanatics. And also, I think with the Kickstarter as well, and with that whole crowdfunding, they're with you with the journey. They want you to succeed. They're there to help you. And it's one big team. And I prefer that. It's far better than, as Dave said, just writing something, throwing it off in a comic shop, and you never know if anybody's going to buy it or who they are. This way, people are at the start, and we're going, by the way, guys, we've got, we've got the cult of V2A. So what it is, Mick, is our hardcore fan club is called the cult of V2A. And the idea is if I meet anybody from school and they ask me what I'm doing now, I can say I'm a cult leader. which is highly entertaining. But we've done patches.
Be careful how you say that, though.
I know, yeah. We've done patches for them, and it's got V2A cannon fodder. So it's just awesome fun. It's immersive. It's comes together. It's everybody works as a team. It's very inclusive. We get nutters from America, Japan. We're touring Japan next year. We're over in Australia with the Mad Max thing. We might be doing some stuff for a film over in Australia at the moment.
For a certain film.
For a certain thing. With a bloke who was in Thor. Yeah, so all very excited. But it's just, and because they all know we're massive fans.
Yeah.
And then it spreads like a virus. It's awesome.
The other thing that's really interesting is the Mad Max Museum, isn't it? So we will have comics on sale in the Mad Max Museum.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's gonna be awesome.
Wow. We're going to have a special cover. So what again, the Mad Max Museum, awesome. It's AD is the bloke, is a guy from Bradford, saw Mad Max 1, saw Mad Max 2, loved it so much. He moved his wife and family over from Bradford to Broken Hill in the middle of nowhere in Australia. some TV company phoned him up and said, you know, why are you over here? Because he had like he built his own interceptor, so he used to drive that around Bradford, an interceptor, as you do. And he said, oh, I'm going to open a Mad Max museum, and of course, because it was a TV company, he felt he then had to go and do it. So he actually got this mad guy from Bradford in the middle of, you know, Australia, New South Wales. With the Mad Max Museum. So again, we're going to have a special version of the comics with the Mad Max Museum cover, only available there.
Yeah,
awesome.
Brilliant.
We're just anything we can think of it, which is really cool.
Yeah,
we just do it.
We do.
Cool.
We do. There's none of that. Oh, it's going to cost money or what? Sod that. If it's really cool, you get one life. Do it.
Excellent, brilliant. So obviously now we're all virtual and lockdown's coming to an end. Have you got any cons planned to take the out on the road, push it out on the road or anything?
Well, the one that's for sure, as far as we can, is Thought Bubble in Leeds.
Okay.
So that's a big comic con. That's a real comic con.
That's massive, isn't it? So,
yeah.
When's that? Is it November? Is it? Or?
It is.
It is.
Yeah.
November in Leeds. Lovely.
Well, it's Harrogate now, but very close to
Harrogate. You are, correct. Yeah. It has moved.
There might be. There'll hopefully be some MCMs. So London and maybe Manchester. I've heard talk of. But how they're just such. They could work because they're in the massive XL centres, they're massive venues. So if they spread things out, it's almost like being outside. But I'm not quite sure what the numbers will be allowed and things. But you know, so
definitely Thought Bubble in Harrogate, not Leeds.
Yes.
I believe that's November.
Yeah, and that's
possibly MCM.
Yeah, and that's all we have at the moment. Some of the smaller ones have already kind of moved it a year, so they keep jumping the years. Yeah. But we'll go to any that we can get to.
Yeah. Busy back end of the year, then, definitely.
The Asylum might happen in Lincoln in August bank holiday.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, is that
where we're playing?
Yeah, so that's that's likely to happen, which is a really nice. It's completely different to a Comic Con. It's completely different to anything else I've gone to. It's a nice place, a nice event.
So a quick question to Dave. What was what did you think the first time you saw V2A play live? Because we do chrome people, we have snow cannons.
I was shocked, I think. He kept threatening to get me out. I was helping behind the merchandise.
Yeah, it's definitely an experience, isn't it?
He kept threatening to get me up on the stage. I'm like, I'm not going to go up on the stage. I mean, my God. Anyway,
it's awesome.
It's just full on. It's full on. And so typically you get people going up on the stage and then the bouncers get them off. These guys, they just run around and do what you like. You can't. I was thinking,
everybody's out for a good night at a V2A gig.
Chaos.
It's just mad. But great fun.
And we've got when we do get going again, we've got about 20 odd festivals now, but they keep sort of moving. So we don't know when they're going to. We know we're booked and we know they're all over the place. But once they do start, we will announce all that, and that's load in the UK, Europe, and America. But we don't know about America if we can get there this year. Who knows? Next year's definitely Australia and Japan as well.
Okay.
So
cool. And people can find all this information where?
So we've got there's a website, so accentukcomics.com, so www.accentukcomics.com. You can find a lot about that, Accent UK, and then the comics. V2A, you've got your own website, haven't you?
Yeah, v2a.co.uk, and then also there's V2A on Facebook and Accent UK on. And if you go to one of those, we'll link everybody else to it. But we have got our own V2A Wasteland Chronicles Facebook group, just full of nutters who love the comic and dress up as the characters. Or who are the characters? Who are the characters? From the graphic novels. So.
That's brilliant. Yeah. Seems like you guys have been very busy and going to be even busier coming up from the sound.
I just can't wait to get out and get out again. To be fair,
I know.
I want to get out and play.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I think we're coming to the end of the stream. So we have one quick question for you guys. We're going to finish with one of a clip of V2A playing live, both in the Mojave Desert at the Wasteland Weekend Festival. You have a choice. Choice number one is it was their 10-year anniversary in 2019, and because we're a little band from Worcester, we decided to take massive snow cannons to the desert and cover everybody in snow, which was highly entertaining. Again, this is the theme with us. If we just forget about the money side, let's just do stuff because it's really cool. Or So there's that one. Or would you like to see a mad Russian fan on stage with us, half naked?
I'm going to go for the snow cannon just because I think it sounds crazy in the Mojave Desert.
Yeah, I'll go for snow cannon as well. Snow cannon.
Snow cannon, and I'm going to ignore both of you, and we're going to have the mad Russian lady. So good night, all. Have a wonderful, lawless. Come if you see us at any of the festivals, please come over and buy us a drink. Hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
Awesome. Thank you, Mick. Thank you, Dave. Awesome guys. And watch out for the Russian lady.
Oh, I love you guys.